Now I'm going to bring up our professional men. I'd like to start with our defending champion, Port Elizabeth, Nelson Mandela Bay's very own South Africa's Kyle Buckingham. I hope he's here with us. He's a two-time champion here as well, representing the USA, Ben Hoffman, the Hoff. He will be here, I'm sure. Then let's please welcome somebody that South Africans have never heard of because he's never spent any time here at all, but he became very, very famous for wearing a halo. The United Kingdom's Tim Don. He's raced here twice before. Every 2 years he comes back. He's a fan of South Africa's Jungle Oats porridge. Please welcome David McNamee, UK. And he loves a sea swim. That's because he's from Australia, but we'll forgive him that. Please welcome Josh Amberger. All right, lovely to have these gents with us. It's a huge men's field. We're going to pass the microphone all the way down to Josh. Often as an announcer, I always get asked what are my predictions on who's going to win the race. And I refuse to make predictions because as far as I'm concerned, all these athletes are hugely talented. They've all done a massive amount of work. And I would say at least half of that men's field are all within a very good chance of a podium here at the Standard Bank Ironman African Championship. And the gentleman who dominates all the TV coverage from the get-go, and just as well he's going to have a Roka swim cap on, because with that new haircut, he'd be going right turns all the time. But from Australia, Josh, you've raced here before. You've said you've learned a lot of lessons racing here before. I would imagine we're going to see you first out the water again.
Yeah, I mean, that's been my plan ever since I started triathlon as a swimmer like 15 years ago. Swimming's my thing, so it's good to be able to go into the race feeling relaxed. Even if I see rough conditions, I know I'm typically going to be able to swim pretty well through it. So I have to, of course, keep the pace up because I don't want to get chicked by Lucy in the swim times. I've got a pretty good record with that so far, so I'm intending to keep that as is. But yeah, like you're talking about predictions. It's so hard looking at this field. It's minus a few world champions. We've pretty much got a world championship level field here. So I'll just go out there and do my thing in the swim. And if people are with me, then that's the way it is. And we'll go on with the race from there.
Welcome to Ben Hoffman, ladies and gentlemen, the Hoff, a two-time champion here. Thank you very much to Josh. Why don't we quickly give the microphone to Ben as he joins you. Have you got your breath back? Are you all right? Ready to go?
Yeah, just sitting outside. Sorry, it's a little toasty in here. So
it is toasty indeed. As a matter of fact, I'm getting to race weight as we stand here. Should I take my time? We'll all be quicker on Sunday.
That sounds good to me.
We'll be lighter.
Let's sweat it out right now. Lean down.
Ben, lovely to have you and your wife Kelsey back. And your wife's got a passenger on board. How cool is that? They're expecting they're going to become mom and dad for the first time in September, ladies and gentlemen. I know last year was a year that messed with your head a little bit. Doing the Cape Epic, doing an experiment, Cape Epic, coming here, sore back. I think you finished 530-something because you didn't give up. You wanted to say thank you to the crowds and respect the course, and off you went. But having a child on the way in a couple of months' time, is that a new adrenaline rush?
Yeah, as you said, I mean, last year was a year to forget in a lot of ways, especially for my racing career. But the interesting thing was that it was a perfect reset, too, for my mind, where it was hard initially, but I think it put everything in perspective for me. And Kelsey and I have been wanting a family, and we realized after last year, after it being a tough year of racing, that having a child, having a family is much bigger than racing. And so we decided to make that a priority. And now I feel like having the break from racing and having a child on the way, it's just given me the perfect mental refresher. And I appreciate what I'm doing so much more. And I'm just very excited to have a family and, something that will be bigger and beyond racing for the rest of my life.
Well, we wish both of you all the best. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful experience. I know all about it. Let's talk about 2 wins here. You've been here 3 times. This is your 4th visit. There must be something about South Africans, about Nelson Mandela Bay, about this race that keeps bringing you back.
Well, the list is almost too long to go on about right now. I won't take all of your time, but it's obviously an incredibly beautiful race course, and now I think even more beautiful than before with some of the changes that we've seen, more challenging, which I really appreciate. One of the more honest races on the course, and as a championship race, now you see we have an incredible field lined up, which is something that gets me really excited for racing on Sunday. And in addition to that, which I always talk about, there's just a special vibe in this community where there's a higher level of appreciation for the sport of triathlon and sport in general, I think. People understand the work that we do, the energy that we put into this, and then what we're doing on race day. And you really feel that, and it lifts you up when you're out there. So, yeah, I think being here in South Africa, it feels like a second home to me. And we would love to keep coming back in the future. There's so much to do outside of the racing here, too. And we already have a plan, to explore some new areas of the country after the race. So just everything about it, is something that I look forward to every year. And I'm very excited to be back here and be ready to race on Sunday.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The USA's Ben Hoffman, 2-time champion here. We wish you good luck for Sunday. We're going to swing the microphone down to the King of Porridge, representing Great Britain, David McNamee. 2 times 3rd place in Hawaii. And last year, actually a little bit under the radar, and then all of a sudden, boom, you were coming down a Lee Drive, 3rd place yet again. A nice way to end the year, to give you that confidence going into the new year, and choosing to come back to South Africa again, a nice early race.
No, for sure. Podium in Kona is obviously an incredible way to finish the year, and a podium here would be the perfect start.
Fighting talk already. He's an automatic qualifier. All he needs to do is finish. Taking that pressure off you, does that actually help?
I've been asked that question a couple of times this week. I think the most pressure as an athlete you put on yourself is from yourself. So, yeah, ultimately I still have the same pressure as anyone else. It's nice to know that I just need to cross the finish line to qualify for Hawaii, but I don't train to finish. I train to try and win.
Train to win. And for the rest of you, winning is finishing, but for them, winning is winning. If I may briefly, it's fairly public on social media, your obsession with porridge. Now, luckily, in South Africa, at all South African hotels, we have, I would assume, Jungle Oats porridge. Is it up to your standard? Is it okay?
There is no porridge here.
There is.
In the boardwalk, there's no porridge.
You can ask them nicely. I will arrange Jungle Oats porridge for you tomorrow morning for breakfast.
I feel like this is like something that you actually have to execute on now. You can't brag about it and then just not make it happen.
Hold on. Tim Don says I mustn't give him porridge. Do we give him porridge or don't we give him porridge? You will have porridge for breakfast tomorrow morning.
Okay. I will take a photo. Will you deliver it? Will you be like a waitress?
I plan to.
A waitress.
That's a challenge. Can I wear orange? Iron Man for the kids. Will you make a donation?
You can wear whatever you want.
Right, here we go. The porridge challenge has begun. We'll leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, David McNamee, welcome back to South Africa. And good luck. Tim Don, an old friend of South Africa. You raced here in PE, I think it was late 90s. You've lived in Stellenbosch for a long time. I think you're junior world champion triathlon, junior world champion duathlon, short sprint distance duathlon world champion, I think a quathlon champion of sorts as well. You've got something like 17 70.3 wins. You've got a 740 Ironman in Brazil. But the thing that you're probably most famous for is breaking your neck in Hawaii, and a year later you were back.
Go figure, hey?
What an adventure, and in the process, touching so many people's lives, inspiring so many people that, you can overcome any challenge if you set your mind to it.
Yeah, I think when you're in the situation of, something as severe as that, you don't see it as a challenge. You just see it as everyday life and how you cope with it. And I was by no means, trying to do, what I did. I just wanted to get back to the sport I love, what everyone here loves, and, try and race again. And, I was amazed initially how many people it reached out to, in the sport and outside the sport. And, it's definitely been a roller coaster. And, without a doubt, the support from everyone has really helped myself and my family, get back to racing and hopefully racing fast.
Dirty fast, as you like to call it. You've raced a lot in South Africa. You've trained a huge amount in South Africa. But this is the first time you're doing a full Ironman here. This is the first time you're doing the Standard Bank Ironman African Championship. What kind of pushed the button for you to come and do our race?
I think it was because it's such an easy field for a start. No, as you say, it's close to my heart, South Africa, and not just the country, but this race specifically has such an amazing reputation of the crowds, the vibe, the organisation, the fact we have the expo in an underground car park. It's just amazing. And also, on a practical side, the qualification system's changed for the professionals. It's similar to the amateurs, where it's kind of like if you win or get second, you're in. We don't get points that we add up. So it makes sense to do an early season Ironman. That was my plan, and obviously, hence it's such a strong field. So those are the kind of reasons I decided to pick South Africa.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see that classic little head bob of his up and down Marine Drive from about 12 o'clock onwards. Give him a big shout from the UK, Tim Don. Lovely to have you here. And then we have a surfer, former electrician and a surfer who decided to swim a bit, cycle a bit and run a bit, set a world record and was first amateur in Kona, became a pro, 2 wins. But that win last year here at the Standard Bank Ironman African Championship, coming down the finish line with the flag, South African fans practically crying, South African music blaring in the background, unbelievable.
Yeah, no, nothing can come close to that, or nothing that has ever come close to that since I've been racing or whatever I've done. And it was extremely special. That last 500 meters, it was quite emotional actually. But just to do it in front of like my home crowd and the people that support me and with me every single day, just to do it in front of them, and it was a very special feeling.
But you're not making it easy for yourself, Kyle, because you've invited all your 50 best professional friends to come and race with you on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome race. It's a lot tougher than last year, but I think we can all agree, all the pros that are racing, that it's quite an open field. I think we're all as strong as each other, and I think nobody can predict what their race is going to do on Sunday. So it's going to be tough for everybody, and it's awesome to have such a strong field coming to this amazing race in my hometown.
So your hometown, which means you train on the course all the time, and we've got a slightly new course. We've got a changed bike course and slightly altered run course, going very much to what we did at the World Champs last year, what we did in 2004 at the test event. But I don't want to ask you about the course, I want to ask you about the weather, because all the athletes here, the only thing they're worrying about is the weather. Tell me what's happening with the weather on Sunday.
Yeah, so
and no pressure, you're a local and you're a surfer, you should know the weather.
Yeah, I know the weather now. I only looked at it like today will be probably the day that you know what it's going to be. So it looks like it's going to be northeast, and it's going to be a little bit of a breeze. Not like yesterday, breeze.
Hold on. When you say breeze, like a Port Elizabeth person's version of a breeze?
Yes.
Or what the rest of the world says a breeze is?
Port Elizabeth's,
It's going to be very windy.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a tough course. I've trained, like you said, I trained on the course, and I live at the 25-kilometer mark on the bike course, so I know the course inside out. And it's been awesome to train and practice every single day to what we're going to get on race day in the wind. So I've dealt with that plenty of times. But yeah, the last 45 Ks on each lap is going to be tough. It's going to be a headwind, and it's not going to make the run any easier.
Awesome. Anybody want to still race on Sunday? No, look, that's what it's all about. You want to know when you come down that finish line and you hear the words, "You are an Ironman." When you get that medal around your neck, you've definitely earned it, and you'll earn it on this course. You've heard them all say, both the women and the men, this is an honest course, and that's what it's about, and that's why they're here. Your defending champion, South Africa's very own, Kyle Buckingham, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck. Sterkte. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Tim, David, Josh, and to Ben, and to all of you for being here today.